Hello and welcome everyone. This is Amir Amiddin. I'm an English instructor and also an accredited translator. Today I'm here to talk to you about how to teach pronunciation to children, young adults, and adults. Okay? So I've attended a course at the British Council. It was actually a workshop about this topic, how to teach pronunciation. So as a beginning, would any of you tell me why is pronunciation important? Why is pronunciation important, and also what skills is it connected to? I'm waiting for your answers. Hi, Mr. Michael. It's a pleasure to see you here. Okay, the questions again. Why is pronunciation important, and what skills or what language skills is it connected to? So as you know, we have four English skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So far, I haven't seen any answers. Okay, so pronunciation is basically connected to listening and speaking. Yes, so it's important to improve our listening, as when you know that there is intonation, there is linking, there is stress, then you can understand what the native speakers say. Because some Arabs and some Egyptians say that the native speakers, they talk in another way. They are strange. They are they always talk in. They always just delete or remove some words. I cannot understand them. So when you know the pronunciation strategies and how to understand and talk in a perfect way, then you'll be familiar with things like linking, assimilation, elision, etc. So please guys, share this live video to reach as much as possible. Okay, so here are some useful phrases. Okay, so I have an answer from Mabruk. Pronunciation gives us the power to speak. Yes, you're right. Very, very good answer, Mabruk. So this answer is connected to my question: why is pronunciation important? Okay. So here are some useful phrases to use in your class to teach your students pronunciation. For example, you can say, where's the stress in this word? And also you can say, how many syllables in this word? Also you can say, how do you pronounce this word? Like rhythm, for example. Another one, is this question rising or falling? So guys, do you know the difference between rising and falling intonation, and even what is intonation? Okay, who knows when do we rise our intonation? And when our intonation should be falling? Okay, in case you don't know, the intonation should be rising when you ask a yes-no question. For example, did you see her? Did you see her? So your intonation rises at the end of the question that has an answer of yes-no. Okay, Mr. Husseini Muhammad answered, absolutely, the pronunciation is the heart of the language. Yes, very good answer. Yeah, and it's also connected to the question, why is pronunciation important? Okay, so guys, the rising intonation can be found in questions like yes, no. For example, when you say, did you see her? Did you meet her? Do you like apples? So your intonation rises at the end of the question. WH questions, yes, I'm going to talk about this, Brooke. So the WH questions are falling intonation. For example, what did you see? What did you see? Okay, so your intonation falls at the end of the WH question. Okay, so that's about the rising and falling intonation. Okay, we have an answer from Taha. Okay, he said, it is important to know the methodologies and strategies of pronunciation, but we don't need to imitate their accents or copy and paste their accents. Interpreters should know various accents so that they can interpret them well. Best of luck. Glad to see. Yeah, I'm really glad to see your comment, Mr. Taha. Thanks for being here. Yes, when I'm talking about pronunciation, it's not a must to speak like native speakers. It's not a must to speak in a British accent or an American accent. The most important thing is to understand them. And it's up to you to choose your accent or even talk in something in between. So you're not 100%, you don't speak 100% American accent and you don't speak 100% British accent. We have another comment from Sarah. The manner of producing musical tones, especially the relation and pitch of tones to their key to or harmony. This is intonation. Okay. We have another comment from Mabruk. Thanks a lot, Mabruk, for your comment. Okay, let's get back to the useful phrases to use during your pronunciation class. Also, you can say, what's the sound? Also, you can say, listen and repeat. Repeat after me. How many words can you hear? What happens to the sound when you use the contracted form? Do you know what's the meaning of contraction, guys? Who can give me an example of contraction? Okay, contraction. Who knows what is contraction? What do we mean by contraction? Okay, contraction is something like when you say, or it's the opposite of the full form. For example, you can say, yes, Mr. Muhammad Shukr said, I am and I'm. Yes, perfect, Mr. Muhammad. Yeah, this is contraction. Contraction is the reduction of the full form. For example, I'm or instead of I am. I don't instead of I do not. Okay? So that's contraction. Another useful phrase to use during the pronunciation class, is this a vowel or a consonant? Okay, so guys, who can tell me how many consonants do we have in the written English? Written, not spoken. Okay, so basically we have in the written English speaking, or sorry, in the written English, we have basically 5 and sometimes 6 vowels. The known vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes the Y is a vowel. For example, in the word pretty, pretty, here we have Y at the end of the word, but Y here is considered a vowel as it pronounces like E, pretty. Okay. So another phrase to use when you teach pronunciation, you can say, are these sounds the same or different? Yes, yes, Mr. Muhammad, very good. A, E, I, O, U. And another one, the student can ask you, so which is the most common sound in English? Who knows, guys, the most common sound in English? Who can tell me the answer? Who can tell me the answer to this question? What is the most common sound in English? Okay, the most common sound in English is the schwa. Do you know the schwa? Okay, let's give you some information about the schwa sound. Schwa is the name for the most common sound in English. It is a weak, unstressed sound, and it occurs in many words. It is often the sound in grammar, in grammar words such as articles and prepositions. For example, the word banana. No, the schwa isn't the long E, Mabruk. Okay. For example, the word banana has a main stress on the second syllable, and the other 2 syllables are schwa sounds. Okay, banana. And the British accent pronounces as banana. That's the way the British accent pronounces this word. So learners often have great difficulty reproducing this sound. Also contractions, the word contractions, which I told you, refers to the words that are shortened when speaking. For example, it is and it's. Okay. There's an interesting tip that I want to share with you. When you want to produce words like of, then they can be reduced into a schwa. For example, I need a piece of cake. Then you can pronounce the word of here in this case as the weak form, not a strong form. You can say it as I need a piece of cake. Piece of cake. Okay, so here the word of, or the preposition of, is reduced to a schwa, a piece of cake. Also, as you know, there is an idiom, a piece of cake, which means easy. This exam was piece of cake. This means the exam was easy. Okay, and also a cup of tea. Do you know what's the meaning of a cup of tea as an idiom? Okay, cup of tea means this thing is your field of interest, or you're interested in this thing, or you're into this thing. For example, when you say, English is my cup of tea, this means you're interested in English, you're into English, you love English. Okay, so let's move on to some other points. So here are some activities. Mr. Muhammad said, could you spell it? What in particular would you like me to spell? Mr. Muhammad, what would you like me to spell? Do you mean piece of cake or the shwa? Cup of tea, okay, yes. Cup of tea, no, we don't write it this way. It is written a cup of tea. A cup of tea. But it's pronounced as a cup of tea. A cup of tea. Kappa. Got it? Cup of tea. So a cup of tea. Yeah. That's right. You can hear it from the native speakers in the US or in the UK. Pronounce it as, yes, cup of tea, cup of tea. I need a cup of tea. English is my cup of tea. Yeah, it depends on the situation or the context. You're welcome, Mr. Muhammad. Okay. So here are some useful activities to do when teaching pronunciation. So many teachers say that pronunciation is not in my syllable. I cannot teach it. It's really hard to teach pronunciation. I find it difficult to teach pronunciation. I don't have any time to teach pronunciation. There are so many grammar lessons to teach. Okay, it's really easy. There are really some useful and some fast grammar activities in which you can integrate your pronunciation lessons. Hello, Ismail. Hi, Ismail. It's a pleasure to have you here. For example, you can teach your students how to use their tone to change the meaning. Got it? So the intonation or the tone is really key to make the other people understand you. For example, let's talk like a robot. What's the meaning of talking like a robot? This means when you talk, there aren't any emotions in your speech. You don't talk without any emotions. For example, when you say, hello, nice to meet you. So here, there aren't any emotions. The other people cannot understand what you say exactly. They cannot understand your tone. Is it a friendly or an unfriendly tone? For example, you can change your tone to change your meaning or your aim of your words. For example, you can say, hi, how's it going? And even if you want to make it in an angry way, you can say, hi, how's it going? Or something like that. Okay? Hi, Ali, nice to see you here. Another activity you can use during your English classes when you teach grammar to your students, you can teach them also how to pronounce the ending of words. For example, when you teach the present continuous, you can teach them how to pronounce the ing ending. For example, we don't say I am playing, so we don't say the g at the end of the word. We pronounce it as sound. For example, you can say I'm playing football, playing. And it's even easier to speak in a correct pronunciation than speaking in a wrong pronunciation. For example, when you say good morning, Muhammad, good morning, Muhammad, it's really fast, it's really neat, and it's really good. And instead of saying good morning, Muhammad, then you have a pause between between morning and Muhammad. Another technique is to teach the ending of the s ending or the ed ending. The s ending, for example, in the plural nouns, and also in the simple present with he, she, it, or singular nouns. For example, the s has three forms of pronunciation. The first one is s, as in books, so the s here is pronounced as s. Another one is to pronounce it as z, as in TVs, TVs. Okay, the singular is TV and the plural is TVs. Z. Okay. Another one, or the last way to pronounce the s at the end of the words, like is. For example, the word watch, watches, watch is, okay, watches. Purse, purses, purse, purses, okay. And the ed ending. The ed ending has three ways to pronounce. The first one is d, the second one is t, and the third one is id. For example, for the d ending, I played the game yesterday. Played. So the verb itself is play. When you add the ed ending, then you say played. You just add the. Okay. For the s or the s. So, sorry, for the t. Okay. When you say what do we have here? Okay, when you say watched, we don't say watched, watched, watched. The ed is pronounced as t. Booked. I booked a flight. Booked, or I booked a ticket. We don't say booked. I booked. Okay. And the id, like when you say faded, I'm faded, faded, faded. Okay. So another technique to teach your student the pronunciation is to give them or say some sentences and let your students count how many words did we say in this sentence. For example, who is here to have this practice? Just write down anything or type anything. If you need to do this activity right here. Okay, so it looks like nobody's ready now. For example, you can say, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now. How many words do we have here? Okay, Mr. Muhammad. So for example, when you say, I'm gonna go now, how many words are here? I'm gonna go now. Without contraction, of course. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now. How many words do we have in this sentence? Okay. 6. Can you write the sentence? Can you write the sentence, Mr. Muhammad? Yes, Ismail. Mr. Ismail also said 6. Excellent. Excellent, guys. Who can write the sentence? Perfect. Perfect, Mr. Muhammad. So I am going to go now is said as I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now. Would you like me to say another example? Who's ready to have another example? Yes, perfect, perfect, Mr. Ismail. I'm going to go now is reduced to I'm gonna go now. Another example for is just a moment. I'll take a green bus. I'll take a green bus. How many words do we have here? I'll take a green bus. How many words do we have in this sentence? I'll take a green bus. Perfect, perfect, Mr. Muhammad. Well done. You were very good at this point. So the sentence is I will take a green bus. So it's pronounced as I'll take a green bus. Very good, Mr. Ismail. Perfect. Okay, I hope this live video was beneficial to you, and inshallah I'm going to see you soon. If you have any questions, you can write down them right now. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions, guys? And also you can write in the questions if you want to have anything connected to pronunciation and other English related topics. You're welcome, Mr. Muhammad. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to have you during this live video. You're welcome, Mr. Ismail. Okay, thank you guys for thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. Inshallah, see you soon. Goodbye.